I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. Dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone.
You gotta listen up close to what they don't tell you and look past what they show you and go back and read between the lines to understand the levels to the depths to the deception. Breaking news of what's going on over in Wuhan in a matter of days to weeks, how fast the far spread. Assumed number of those affected, how many dead, and a prediction on how many more deaths, and that state has precautionary measures in place. Like a quick illusion to distract the audience with the old razzle-dazzle as his hood skittles skedaddle off with the goods. This is how they consume and control the masses who create panic to the pandemic, along with a few disturbing words. Beware of thieves impersonating police officers, health officials coming to your door, phone and internet scams, along with repeat classes of key images. Hospitals filled to maximum capacity, a number sort of color viruses. They still haven't even told us which one the corona is. People running out, buying everything off the shelves at every local grocery, fighting on sanitizers, toilet paper, fucking over each other. Lost lives, lost jobs, then separations of 6 feet. Now we're self-quarantine has got me thinking, how reliable is that source? A journalist does his work. They should have better preparations in place for us. They haven't learned from 1918. What have they learned? 102 years later, taking place on and off screen. Got us eating out of their right hand. My bad, giving us free money out of the right hand as they continue to rob us of our equal rights and privileges. Caught up in their worldwide net in the left hand. Day in, day out with this bullshit. They don't care how many get infected, sick or die. Where's the truth lie? The test results, total numbers. When will this experiment end? Excuse me, pandemic. During the news broadcast intro, I swear I heard the weighing out options, fuck precautions. Tell them what I tell you to tell them. They rely on word from media. It's got me pissed to the 5th degree with all this COVID-19. COVID-19. Now we all in it together? Are we all in it together? Are we all in it together? Are we all in it together?
I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
We all fall short of the glory of the Maker. In America, we're losing our connection to our Savior. And the COVID-19 has caused society to go psychotic. A byproduct from media to fear and a panic from biotics. Mass quarantine, statewide, better to stay on the safe side. Whatever you do, just stay inside until the problem is fully detained, right? Strange, so many matters turn to isolation for solutions. I'm confused, but knowledge must be shared for us to draw conclusions. Do you feed on the media? Does the media feed on you? And do we always have to listen when they tell us what to do? Precautions seem intelligent, but these mandates feel excessive. My perspective, but it all looks highly suspect and deceptive. Feels like fear is living here in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Just stay home and be alone. Distance yourself and you'll be safe. With a black parade and a masquerade is slash charade, cause the gas is made with the ones to blame when the option came for us to make the change. Things stay the same. Can we come together as a nation, uniting the common goal against this worldwide devastation? All these CEOs are bailing from their corporations. We got people paying to go to Mars for colonizations. Seems like faith and hope has died. The whole world just looks petrified. Corona caused the globe to run in shame and tuck their tails and hide. We are on a decline with no way for us to rewind. Let me remind you, it's all for the exaltation of the divine. 65,000 come per day with globally over 1 million cases. That's all that's nothing to do with the population of these places. And America is the worst for where our citizens act like they don't care. How can anybody be prepared when we're all caught up in the devil's snare? Sit right there, we'll keep you updated. Living in fear, severely frustrated. We're exposed and naked, but it's gonna take pain for us to grow as a nation. The introduction, the frequency of 5G here, corrupting, distorting our psyche. Call it a conspiracy, but it's not there. Thought the possible possibilities that we're unable to see. Yes, we're unable to see.
I want you
We're unable to see.
to get
Yes,
up
we're
now.
unable to see.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right